time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Well, a very happy Monday to you. And welcome to another week of your show. My name is Gary, your busty host. And this show is still, as far as we know, the only live show on YouTube from 4 to 5 p.m. originating out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. We're so proud to be able to say that, and we're so grateful and thankful to have you here with us today. We also love to make up categories that we're number one in and then say we're number one. It's very cool. Like for today's, we are the number one show on YouTube that just finished recording a bunch of shows and then has a host out of breath because he's been running around too much. We're number one. We're number one. Got my guy, the Phenom, on the ones and twos today. Say hello, Phenom. There he is. Still also to this day, as far as we know, the only hand that runs an entire show because he is just a hand. We go by the Addams Family rules around here. That's him. Not Cousin It, your Thing. Not to be confused with the Thing from the comic books, the big rock guy. We also, man, we got a lot of alsos today. This is pretty fun as we get back on track for another amazing week here at the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. We also have a camera that is so world-renowned that people literally stop by just to check out the Maggie Cam. And then once they see it, they leave. And that's okay because I'm just here for the Maggie Cam too. Look at that beautiful puppy. Oh, I love her so much. The Maggie Cam for Pet Planet on 8th Street, our pet's natural grocer, Mike and Rochelle, along with their puppy, Leroy, who we know and love so much. He literally sits right beside the door when you walk in. Yeah, and he greets you. It's amazing. It's kind of like Maggie over here at our shop. They are ready to give you the greatest experience of your life inside a pet store. And if you head over there after hours or during the weekend, you will also get that same service from Kirsten, Shar, or Chris. They have one of the greatest cleaning stations in the history of animals. It's so incredible. All your pet dreams come true every single time you walk through the doors at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, as Margaret slowly drifts off to Puppy Sleep Town, where she will be counting down the seconds until it is supper time, because she knows once this show is done today, she gets to eat. Well done, Margaret. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff we're going to get to today. My main man, Curtis Anderson, will be stopping by a little bit later, looking very forward to that as well. We're going to do a little preview of the latest episode of Uncle Grandma's Story Time. He has been crushing it on the interweb. I was going to say internet and web and say them at the same time. Interweb. Episode 5 dropped yesterday, which is very, very cool. So we're going to play a little bit of that for you today to give you an idea of what's going on that show, as we love it very, very much. Don't mind me. I just have to log in here for something we want to go over. Before we get to that previously recorded segment, NFL football. Shout out to anyone who's still alive in your fantasy football league. I know there's not many left. Between the Bobby Good Times League and the Fantasy Hand Egg League and the Daffle League, I think we have one, and it is the big one, by the way, but we have one living team still going as we get very close. I think we're 2 weeks away from the NFL fantasy playoffs, which will be a lot of fun. We talk all the time about our budget gambling that we do around here, and that's what I'm pulling up right now because we had a really fun weekend when it comes to that budget gambling. So we had 2 bets riding yesterday. One of those bets, and we went big. We went an $8 bet on quarterbacks to throw. So how many yards they're going to throw for, okay? And that's a 17 parlay on $8. And yesterday, Patrick Mahomes hit his. This was all in the morning. Tua hit his. We had Matt Stafford not hit his. And that's the end of the story as I jumped ahead. Jalen Hurts did, and Baker Mayfield did, CJ Stroud did. But then we went to the night game, so we had 5 guys going to the night game, And then our man Jalen Hurts did not reach his 220, which ruined that parlay. But we had an entire day of chasing these guys that fell apart last night during the big game. So if Jalen Hurts would have threw for 221 yards, that $8 bet would have made us $300, which would have been a great day. We also had one more, and this was the one that hurt even more. So this is a $3 bet. So our total bet, and this is how you budget gamble, in case you're wondering. Very little. So it's $8 bet was our huge bet for the weekend. And then our $3 bet, which we put down, it was an 8-team parlay. So that means we had 8 different things that had to happen for us to win on a $3 bet. And this one had running quarterbacks. So in the morning, we had Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he rushed for over 13 yards. That's one. Baker Mayfield for Tampa Bay. He rushed for over 12 yards, which is very good. Tommy DeVito, the starter in New York, taking over for Daniel Jones. Giants are a horrible team right now. He only needed to run for over 23 yards, and he got 25, so thank you to him. Bryce Young needed 14. He got that. Anthony Richardson needed to go over 36. He did it in one run. If you're keeping score at home, Jaden Daniels had to get over 38. He did it. Caleb Williams had to go over 14, and he did that. If you're keeping score at home, 7 quarterbacks in the morning hit. So here we are. You, me, and this incredible $3 bet rolling into the afternoons. All we need is quarterback Bo Nix. You can tell where this is going, right? Quarterback Bo Nix had to go over 21 yards rushing. He's been known to rush. Lately, though, Bo Nix, quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Jeez, I've been trying to block it out of my head. He's really gotten good over the last couple of weeks. He started out as sort of a scrambly, running quarterback, so I thought it'd be a great time to catch him. There's no way he's not going to run for less than 21 yards. Turns out all he does is throw just darts now. The guy's a pocket quarterback at the worst possible times. In the afternoon, we needed 22 yards, and he only gave us 5. One rushing attempt for 5 yards, but you're talking about a good 6 hours of entertainment chasing that little bet. $3 could have won us $270 if Bo Nix would have ran for 16 more yards. That close. Point being, if you ever find yourself wanting to try gambling, this is how you do it. Okay? Very little bets. You don't win often, but if you do, it's a nice chunk. It's a lot of fun. This has been How to Budget Gamble with Gary. Bo Nix, boo. Run a little more, bro. So we had a fun day there with the NFL gambling on our little budget that we have because we have no money. So we lost $11, but we could have made so much, and it was a lot of fun. So little wrap up of how the NFL went gambling-wise yesterday as we got a Monday nighter going on tonight. The Harbaugh brothers. Yeah, remember last time they met was in the Super Bowl? Then one of the bros went and won a college championship with Michigan. Now he's running the Chargers. Chargers, Ravens tonight. Jim and John Harbaugh facing off again. It's going to be a good one. Be sure to check that out. Monday Night Football going on. Kickoff. I believe it's around 7:15. It'll be a lot of fun. Hey, it's Monday. New Pulse Power with Aiden will be out. Be sure to check that out and do some of those workouts to get some mobility back once we go into hibernation mode here into the winter. A lot of people like to stay mobile and active, so we're going to do some of that with our good friend Aiden and her show Pulse Power. I mentioned earlier Uncle Grandma's Storytime, an incredible show that we've started. My man Graham Templeman's his real name, but we call him Grandma. He's been a drummer for forever. He's drummed with like 38 different bands. He's a very connected guy as far as music goes. And we had a really, really fun one. And this sort of plays into something that we do around here with our friends at Bloom Entertainment and 3 Hall Public House, as they have the Friday Unplugged Open Mic Night, 6 to 9 p.m., and then the show for you on Saturday this week. And it's going to be it used to be Funk Joint Duo, but now there's like 5 guys in Funk Joint. So it's just Funk Joint. But we had 2 members of that band, one of them being Uncle Grandma, stop by for the latest edition of his show, which is out now. You can check it out on the YouTube page, or you can check out a little bit of it right now as we will play for you, including the intro, because we had a lot of fun doing the intros. Here is a little bit of Uncle Grandma's story time while we wait for Curtis Anderson on your show. Take her away there, Fina.
shit.
part of the opening here.
Is that original Zelda right there?
Yeah.
Original Game Boy Zelda? You gotta be kidding me. Amazing. I played that with my kid, the reissue. He loved it. Yeah.
No one believes me when I tell them, man, I beat it like once a year on the toilet. Like, it's such a fun
So
game.
good, yeah.
Ooh. Is that what rolling is?
Oh no, I'm assuming the music's cutting.
Oh, I guess, yeah, because
Yeah.
we can't hear it now. But everybody playing its way in. I thought you were rolling with my homies, like Clueless.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was like this, though. A little bit off. Uncle Grandma story time!
Heck yeah, good to see the wall. I would like to say everybody, but I can't see anybody, so I can
is
see
true.
you. And then this is my
Hello,
friend
sir.
Savelle McLean.
Hello.
Isabel
Of
in the
funk joint fame.
house.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
What do you think of the studio?
I love
Hey,
it.
isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Put him on
This
the
is
spot,
this
eh?
is exactly the kind of place you want
You
to
can tell him
have a
sucks.
podcast. No,
The
this is
only reason I
awesome.
had enough confidence to ask was because it's Uncle Grandma's studio, too.
No,
I
this
didn't
is,
do
this is a
nothing.
beauty. This is a beauty, guys. And I really appreciated your studio guard.
Yes, our sweet, beautiful guard pup.
Yeah.
Oh, she's guarding over there.
She's a beaut. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Maggie's
making sure I'm standing in line over here.
She's the true star of this entire family, and we love her so much. This is episode 5, and we finally have the new one. I see we didn't quite figure out how to 16 by 9 it or whatever it is.
Well, this is still from the old batch.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're talking the new ones, of course.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go through the old batch first, but
My name's Gary, by the way. I hang out with this guy. It's a lot of fun.
I'm Grandma, and
I
like I
introduced
said,
you already.
Val.
That was the last one. So we like to start these episodes off with
Figure it out.
the words that Uncle Grandma entered to get this out of Skynet. So I'm going to go ahead and say, for sure, we got another grandma, another chair, but it's not a rocking chair. So grandma in chair, Smoking weed.
Kangaroo had to be one of the words.
smoking weed with kangaroos, getting high with kangaroos in a magical forest during nighttime.
It's yeah, you're about 60% there,
I love figuring out how Skynet
Yeah.
works.
and
So
like
Well, let's see. Maybe you put the color blue in there. I'm seeing a lot of
There's a
blue.
lot of blue. That's a
yeah,
very smart
that is nail on the head there.
Nice. Something about. Well, yeah, I think you already said smoke.
Yeah, why is the chair smoking? That's sort of bothering me.
Well, this is the thing. There's
Yeah.
there's so
Everything is
many.
just so disturbing.
Yeah, it's super weird when you do put stuff in there because I can go through and correct it, take the double S's out of there, take the R out. You know, it's like
Yes,
because
it's
Skynet. You know,
Two
it's,
T's.
sorry, Tim. Hey.
Tim,
And I think what does it say right at the top? It's like
Steve,
Jersey's mama comes.
Skynet's drunk, bro.
Man, it's the hands. Like hands in AI
Yeah,
are
there's 3 weird fingers that
disturbed.
melt into her knee.
yeah.
It's
I don't like this. The more I look at it, they always start out so like, oh, that's a nice picture, and then they just
Well, and the kangaroo
Get
tail
disturbing
just
quick.
becomes the other
the other
kangaroo's
kangaroo. I
foot.
didn't notice that.
yeah.
Like what the hell?
This is like those. Can you find 9 differences in this picture?
Yeah, it is kind of creepy. And
Okay.
a lot of the things were just misinterpreted from my original thing. So this was an option
Are
on
you telling
on
me that a
misinterpretation.
robot misinterpreted you?
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
scary. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
it's not perfect.
So what did you enter into it? What's the answer here?
It's like what was it? Old Ukrainian lady
Again,
Yeah.
smoking a pipe in a rocking chair, which there was no rocking chair, next to space with blue trees and blue kangaroos.
you nailed the blue.
So
Well done.
no blue kangaroos,
No blue kangaroos.
no blue trees.
Dare I say those trees at the top?
Kind of
Foliage,
bluish.
the
Yeah.
foliage is a little blue. I'll give
Yeah.
it that.
It's but yeah, it was kind of a weird one.
That's good.
But yeah.
I like this game.
Yeah, it's fun. There's like a whole bunch of weird crap that I put in there.
It's a great gimmick to start the show every time, too. I like that. It's a lot of
good
fun.
thing.
Then you come in having fun, you're smiling, you're hanging out,
Yeah.
and then it becomes story time.
Well, where should we start? Like I was gonna just go back to the day that we met.
That's a good story.
I think it's a pretty
good
interesting
story.
story.
Take it away, brother.
Yeah.
So now this is the years are getting
2010.
It was 2010.
August 2010.
Okay, good. I can't remember that.
I know
date.
that because that was when I moved here, and I met you the day after I moved here.
No way.
Yes.
Second day. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had a
That's a
vehicle.
special bond. Hey, that's really cool. I like that.
You had like a vehicle full of stuff,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Well,
when we were there.
Well, no, when I had already dropped my
Oh,
my
you
stuff
you
off.
did you did.
Yeah,
okay.
but I had literally driven from Kingston, Ontario to Saskatoon, and I don't know how many days it took me, but I was solo with a U-Haul pulling my stuff. And then, so I had a buddy who had a house he just bought, and I was going to move in with him. So I dropped off my stuff. We went drinking. And then the next day, I had a show, because part of the reason I moved out here was to play with Mo Badass. They were
Yes.
called Mo Badass at the time, now the Steadies. And yeah, we had a show. We were going down to Regina and then Gravelburg. And like I said, hungover, hopped in a vehicle. I think, were you in the vehicle on the drive down? No, because Hattie was.
I got myself to Regina.
Right.
I was going to play auxiliary percussion or something like that for the Regina show.
Yeah, right.
What's auxiliary
that-
percussion, real quick?
Well, just because Jason Hattie was playing drums
love Hattie.
for that Regina gig, but he
He's been a
couldn't.
real asshole, by the way. He refuses to come in here. Hattie, if you see this, stop being such a piece of shit and get your ass in the studio.
We've
Also, I
mentioned
haven't seen you in a while,
twice
Hattie.
now.
Good
yeah,
to see
man,
you.
don't be a dick, bro. Sorry. I'm going to turn that heater back off here.
So he was playing Regina, and I was gonna play percussion, but then something I don't know what was going on. I don't think it was in the budget for extra guy or what. I don't know what it was.
It was some hotel show. That's
was
all I
yeah,
remember.
some conference center
Yeah.
thing, and then the next day, because I buggered off and went and hung out with my buddy Luke.
Right. Yeah. I barely even met you for that first show. 'cause
Yeah, no,
played
I
played
was
with-
in and out. I was
Jude.
helping load gear.
Yeah.
And then I basically left. And then went out with Luke. And then the next morning, I just got up and went to Gravelburg to
Yeah.
go meet up with the rest of you guys. Because
Right.
there was, do you remember what kind of festival it was? It was a street festival.
It was a street festival, and I remember we opened for the Mudmen.
Mudmen. Yeah.
That's all I remember.
almost got our first spit take. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah. Imagine this street fair where a reggae band opens for the Mudmen.
Mudmen. Rock and roll, two
I
bagpipes.
think that's where I'd want to be, actually. That sounds like a hell of a time.
It was extremely fun. And like the thing is with the two of us, it was both of our, like you had your first gig in Regina.
Yeah. Well, technically my second, because my first gig was
it's
playing Jazz Fest with the Steadies that year.
Yes.
Where I had flown in,
Yes.
played Jazz Fest, and then I went back.
How did you make that connection?
So yeah, quick aside, like I'm from Kingston, Ontario. I lived there for a long time before moving here, and I was actually playing with a band that opened for Wide Mouth Mason.
There you go.
And so we played at a place called the Merchant Tap House, and so we opened, and Earl was playing bass, and he has this reggae band. He's like, "Hey, do you wanna play in a reggae band, and we're gonna tour?" I'm like, "Sure." I was kind of like, I also have a career outside of music, so it was kind of like in transition at the time. So I was like, you know what? Screw it.
time.
I'll go out there. I had no intention of necessarily staying out here, but I was like, I'll go do that for a little bit, have fun. And I did, and played the Jazz Fest show. Seemed successful. Seemed like we were going to be busy doing stuff. So I came out here because I had a place to stay with my buddy. And yeah, the Jazz Fest show was cool. I think we opened for Bedouin Sound Clash for that Jazz Fest show. And yeah, so it was just like kind of an exciting time for me. But to get back to,
Yes, very cool. Sorry about
to
this.
get back
I'm
to no, that's
curious.
good. To
Yeah,
get back
sort
to
of what
the
I do around
to
here,
get
just
back to the Graham. You know, it's all context. It's all context.
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
But to
There's a
get
lot
back
of
to the
them.
Graham story, so yeah, like we didn't know each other at all. Just met. We meet up in Gravelburg, so we get put in the same hotel room in Gravelburg. And
Like the two of you?
yeah,
Without
like,
knowing each other?
we didn't know each other. So
boy.
yeah, and
Yeah.
That could have got a lot.
Yeah, go load your gear, and then
Yeah.
the hotel is over here. It's like a motel, and then it's like, here's you two guys are with each other. Here's your keys. We
Yeah.
both kind of looked at each other. It's like,
all right,
okay, man. So we sat in the hotel
Hold
room
on,
for
hold
a
on.
bit.
1 second. Like, in my head, that's my biggest fear in the world. Like that would have
it
crippled
could go
me.
bad.
Yeah, like right away you gotta be like, I hope you're a good dude,
Yeah.
because
it could have been horrible.
yeah,
Well, I think it took about like as soon as okay, you guys are rooming together, and we got in the room, put our stuff down, we just kind of looked at each other, and it was like we've pretty much been friends ever since that moment.
Yeah.
Because there was a series of like, do you want to do this? Yep.
I just watched that.
How about this? Do you like this? Yep. And it was exactly like
friends.
that. You know, there's, well, I got a couple joints. Do you want to go out? And,
Yeah.
It's like, well, I didn't want to assume because of the dreadlocks and all this thing.
I didn't
It
want
was
to
like,
profile you
no,
here.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. It's cool. All
I
right.
think that was
But-
my first. Well, no, maybe not my first, because Juice. I probably smoked with Juice before, but that was one of my first in Saskatchewan. Was with this guy.
Yeah, and it was kind of
So
like
many
a.
bonding moments.
Yeah.
Well, there were several more as
Yeah.
the night
there's,
went on.
There's two notable ones I definitely want to highlight.
so dumb.
Two specific ones.
Okay, I'm just gonna shut up. I have too many questions, and I'm just ruining.
No, you're not
very
ruining it.
interested in what's
I
happening.
want to hear these questions, but I'll quickly highlight the two things that, like, to this day really are like, wow. It's like a coincidence, but also just kind of like destiny or whatever.
Yeah.
Number one, he gave me a CD to Johnny Don't
Yeah.
that day because they had just come out with the full city. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll listen to that. I listened to Johnny Don't. I listened to that full city. I joined Johnny Don't like, what, 3 years later?
About, two and a half, 3
I
years
mean,
later.
we're not playing a lot now because Mike's moved out to Calgary, but
Can we shut him out?
I'm
Miles
in that.
Canyon?
I'm
Can we
in
shut out
that
Miles
life.
Canyon?
I'm in that band for life, as far as I'm concerned. As long as they want me, I'm gonna play keys for Johnny Don't.
Miles Canyon.
Miles Canyon,
My guy.
There you
out
go.
in,
There you go.
out in
Love him.
Alberta. He's killing
Yeah,
it right now.
he's killing it. Yeah.
How good do you got to be able to transcend like that, hey?
Oh,
what
yeah.
a talent. Love
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
He's extremely
He's
talented.
he's
shut up
kicking
again.
he's kicking ass. The other notable moment was he said to me, I remember this, and you should tell this part. You should tell this part. You know what you said.
Yeah, I do. I
Say
just
it,
don't
say
want to offend
No,
anybody.
you're not offending. Like,
But,
I'm
like-
happily married. Now,
Yes.
Okay. But what did he say?
Well, the thing was, like, we were hanging out. I'm kind of like giving him the ropes almost. Like, we're in a motel room, and you walk out the front door, and there's a field, and he's just like, "This is so bizarre." I was like, "Get used to it, man. This is exactly what it's like in every small town. Usually, across the street is a field or a field in the background." And we're walking around, we're meeting people. Everyone in Gravelburg is super nice, like very artsy community. I think it's very French.
Very
as well.
French. Yeah, I speak French too, so that was kind of fun.
And he was weaving his way in, talking with everybody. I can't speak French, and it was like, this is great. We went out to a party afterwards.
Yep.
It was like it's basically the street party just kind of moved over into a backyard of like a business or something like that. It was a nice outdoor kind of event thing, and we're all hanging out, and I'm standing there with you and Juice,
yeah.
and Juice is looking around. He's like, "There's a lot of pretty girls around here."
Yeah. It
Yeah,
is
and
Juice WRLD.
he's got had a very awesome Caribbean accent. And a lot of pretty girls. I was like, yeah, man. And I would love to say they're looking at us, but they're all looking at him. And he's just like, he's like, oh no, I know. We have to stay very close. We have to stay very close to him.
Oh, jeez.
And I remember he's just like, yeah, there's a lot of good look. And I'm like, are you single? And he was like, yeah. I was like, stay single as long as you can. Because every prairie girl in this province right now doesn't know that you're here yet, but they will soon because there's some kind of weird thing that they send out. I don't know. Every woman in this room is staring at you right now, and I kind of want to live vicariously through you. So
We have audio listeners, right?
Yes.
So the
Well, not
key.
yet. We
Oh.
do have to do that, hey?
Oh, is it okay? Is this video only? Because
So far.
the key is that I have long dreadlocks.
yeah,
So
For the audio listeners.
So it's a bit of a novelty.
yeah. And it was just like,
Very well
so he
said.
sticks out. He's very well spoken. He can
Handsome as
speak
all hell.
French.
Oh, I
Speaks
don't know about
French.
that.
And you know a lot about land, like you're basically have background in surveying and land and whatnot.
Yep.
And you also have a very good career. You're a musician. You do all these things. I was like, you've checked off every single box for like 90% of prairie girls in this province, and they're gonna eat you alive. And what was it, like 2 to 3 weeks later you met your now wife?
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you.
Told him that as long as you could
Yeah.
go as 3 weeks.
Well, it
No,
wasn't the
it-
plan.
Love
It's-
at first sight, right?
Wasn't
Well,
the
Get it.
plan.
And met like an absolute gem.
Yeah, she's awesome.
You
Like
hit
I
the
got
friggin'
lucky.
lottery.
I got
don't know how
lucky.
you
She's
did
from
that.
Shellbrook.
Yeah. Like it, and I wasn't trying to, I was just making fun at the time.
Yeah.
But like, I was being real. It's like, you kind of got to beware if you're going to go out and gallivant amongst Saskatchewan, having never been here.
Yeah.
You're really going to have to start paying attention. You might meet the family pretty quick. If you're checking off all these boxes, you better start getting used to meeting parents.
Is that a statement on us Saskatchewanians and how shitty we are, or
No,
this
it's like
specimen coming in? Being
I don't-
like,
I don't
check
think
this
it's any of
out.
that.
Yeah,
You know?
somebody's going to clamor on and never
It's
let
just
go.
it's the novelty thing, like that's people love novelty.
That's a great point.
And I that's what I put it to. But I thought that's a crucial thing because it was day one and those two things got established. That band and the fact that we were playing together at all, and then him saying that, and it's kind of like just everything is kind
Oh
of
yeah,
full
it was
from that.
like
There was
years
other good
later
moments
we
that
were
day,
at the
but-
wedding and I was like, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
It's like, her family is amazing.
Yeah.
These are such great people. But yeah, we
That's a
didn't
beautiful love story, by the way. I love that.
we didn't start doing funk joint stuff until years into playing Johnny Don't or doing Johnny Don't gigs together.
Yeah, and I think we've done other one-off gigs too in a few situations.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea when we started, like both of us really wanted to play, like we want to play more funk music, want to play more stuff that has groove, not just your standard rhythm and blues or just blues, which is what you hear a lot in Saskatoon, especially at the time around 2016-ish, 2015, when we established that, okay, we like this music, but we don't see it here. There were a lot of bands
Novelty.
in the 90s, I guess, that were a lot younger and more popular. Like, I don't know if you remember the Dalai Lamas when you're younger. Remember hearing that
I
name?
remember the name, but I don't remember anything else.
Very cool band that, like, horns, funky. Like, there were a lot of bands in Saskatoon around that time that were very much doing that. And then there's another 10, 15 years. It seemed like there may have been a corporate gig here and there that guys would be put together, but there was no band. So I don't know, we saw an opening in what was lacking here, but is also something that we really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So
That was the key, and that's the key to this band. Is we're not actually doing it. We're kind of doing it for ourselves, which
covering songs that we love, and the bands that we love. It's not like work, where it's like, oh, you need to play all these songs because everybody knows them. It's like we're trying to showcase our favorite bands because this is actually very fun stuff.
And that just shows that, you're not doing it for anyone else. Like, we're not trying to make money here. We're going to play stuff we really love, and hopefully you'll love it as
I
much
think
as we
everybody
do, right?
would like it if you heard it. It's hard. It's hard to navigate stuff these days and find stuff on your own without it being attached to an algorithm.
Skynet, but yet you're pumping all these letters into them over here.
Yeah, and they don't even get it right. So don't trust the internet.
absolutely not. I work on the internet. Don't trust it.
You're inside the internet.
Dude, try having it being your entire living.
I
I guess it sort of is. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
It is now for everyone, not just in this little studio.
Yeah, large portion of the world.
Oh man,
I
we
mean,
gotta
just
fight
try to
these
imagine
robots.
what happens if the internet shuts off for a week.
Don't
Best-
wanna.
Best week of our lives,
Would be
guys.
the best.
No stress, no one yelling at you. I have to take a week off in the
Yeah.
studio.
Or-
Vacation, man.
It would actually be people yelling at each other out in the street again.
Yeah.
Like it used to be.
Like it used to.
I'm waiting for this to
Good
sound
old
like a
days.
bad idea here, guys. I don't know, maybe we should
Sounds pretty
get Skynet started.
Yeah.
That would be pretty fun.
So we should promote the show again. November 30th, we're playing at 3 Hall.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
indeed.
Pumped. Tell us about the lineup. I know this is a little bit weird because we just recorded another
No, that's
thing. and
that's
this-
all good.
you know?
Let's talk about the lineup a little bit. Let's start where we didn't spend much time before. Steve Meyer
Steve Meyer on guitar.
He's
Let's
kind of a
promote, guys.
local legend, actually.
He is.
Like he's been around. I know there are stories about him from Ness Creek going back like long before I moved here.
Sure.
And he's a guy who's just a fantastic guitar player. We're so lucky that we got him to be in the band when Steve Fisher left, who was also fantastic.
It's
Like,
just-
it's insane that we lucked out so hard to get two such fantastic guitar players in this band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're super lucky there. So
And same with Adam Streisel and Barracuda Jones there.
Barracuda.
We again very lucky, very busy horn section.
Yeah, they do like SJO stuff.
Yeah.
SSO sometimes.
Well, there you go.
Nice, there you go.
LB from the corner.
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, we're gonna go see him later on and make sure to
Yeah.
tell him you said
Send his
hi.
regards. From, I guess you'd have to say from Adam. Because
Yeah, he's
no
a
one
teacher.
calls LB except us.
And yeah, I think that who Z the Free
She's opening.
is gonna be opening like on her own with like.
I think so, because usually it was going to be Moonbeams, but Parab Poet wasn't. He's out of town.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so he's
she's
not
gonna
gonna be doing
she's gonna
the
do the solo thing with.
Cool.
Well, I think she might have a DJ, but
Yeah,
you know.
tracks. And then like hopefully she can come up and freestyle with us, like
100%.
because that's another thing that we really, like in the back of our minds, we always had this as like we could back a lot of different people, and in the past we have like notable artists that we've played with, like our friend Isaac.
Yeah.
What's Isaac's like handle? Do you remember?
It used to be I-Bond, but I don't know.
Isaac
don't know.
Bond.
Yeah, Isaac
He's an
Bond.
amazing
Oh, man,
freestyle
he's-
art. Like
He's a poet, man. He's great.
he's beat poet. He's
Yeah.
just, and what a great hang. Like
Yeah.
super cool guy. To
We
hang
have
with.
some recordings of just him just in our studio, just doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Like never released. Honestly, it would be great to fix it up
If
because
randomly he sees this, come out on November 30th.
might have to
Isaac.
give him a call,
We'd love
yeah.
to
3 Hall Public House.
yeah,
see you and Z go back and forth. That'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
But and like we kind of always wanted to have ourselves open for stuff like that. So our now friend Ariel
yeah.
Tiffy,
Ariel
she
Tiffy, we backed her a few times.
yeah for a music video did one of her music videos, played with her at a
The
at
music awards, the SAS Music Awards, we backed her.
music awards, and Lugo.
Lugo, yeah,
We did
there
Lugo
too.
with Ariel as well.
Yep.
We have backed Katie Tupper,
In the
who's
past. She's blown up quite a bit.
she's blown up massively, and like that was quite an honor to be asked to play for her as her album was really kicking, because she had an opening slot for Don Ross at the Broadway Theater.
Right, yeah.
It was a really nice gig to play, and we got to be a part of that. And
I got really excited. I thought you
Not
said
Bob Ross, not Bob Ross, Don Ross.
Don
Not
Ross,
this guy.
Canadian acoustic guitar legend Don Ross.
phenom, absolute
Yeah,
phenom.
he's incredible.
And in the future, people will say the same of Katie, because
Mm-hmm.
Katie's now just gone on. And shout out Katie, you're doing friggin' awesome. If you ever watch this,
I'm telling
thanks
you.
for having us.
yeah.
So there you go. If you want to catch the rest of episode 5 of Uncle Grandma's Story Time, all you got to do is just head on over to DufferinAve.com. Every single show that we have is there for you at DufferinAve.com, including Uncle Grandma and replays of your show and all the other ones. Such a good episode. Thank you again to Uncle Grandma and to Savelm for stopping by. We'll be playing another interview that we did, as like they were saying, Funk Joint playing this Saturday at 3 Hall Public House. Very excited for that. Also very excited because this man is here. You know him from Strip Down. You know him from so many other things, including being the father of just a hand. That's it. All it is a hand.
I'm like
Yes,
Mark Henry.
All he is a
Nobody got
Curtis
that reference.
Anderson, I knew
Nobody
it.
got that reference. You got to be a deep Attitude Era WWE fan to get that. Thank you. Did you? I show up and you're like, pull that tape out of the VCR, Finan. That interview's over. We're going live with Curtis Anderson. I appreciate it. My heart has never been more full, Gary. I got to bump a segment.
I don't don't care about any of that. Was
Okay.
it Mae Young that gave birth to the hand?
Yes, in one of the
Now I
most
care- now I care
in
about
one
all
of the
that.
most confusing segments ever on Raw. You know, as someone who grew up with the product and aged with it and was that like angsty rebellion teen during the Attitude Era, I was like, oh yeah, everything they do, the DX and the NWO and everything, I love all this. And then they did that thing with Mae Young giving birth to a hand, and I was like,
Never mind.
no,
It didn't even
nobody
make any
wants this.
sense, man.
Yeah, that was some weird inside joke they haven't ever come out.
There's a lot of them. Like, remember when the email was the general manager for a while? It was just an email that no one ever.
And Michael
so
Cole would
annoying.
read it.
Yeah, enough of that. This guy, he's got a big night. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tuesday. Tell us what's going on, my man.
We are 263 or 4 episodes in. That is a lot. That's each episode is an hour, and that not counting like the specials we've done and like the clip shows. Because we used to do a lot of clip shows. We'd do like a mid-season clip show and then like an end-of-season clip show pretty much all the time. Back when we were doing it in a taped environment from 2008 to 2014 before we took that break when I went off to do another music show before I returned to 2018 to start Strip Down up again in a live format. And once we were live for these last few seasons from 2018 to present, it just never really occurred to me because we went from doing one show a week to like once a month. And of course we're going to showcase an artist, and why would we make a clip show when we're doing such a limited run per season?
Makes sense.
However, just at the beginning of this season, I was going through all my old clips. I was like, you know what? We've been ignoring the first run of the show since we came back in 2018 for the most part. I was like, I'm going to kind of connect those dots because it's kind of a different show, but still the same show, different people, few of the same people. But I was like, let's go back and let's look at some history this season. I felt like it's time. And going through all those clips at the beginning of the season, putting together like some montages for the season, what was it 14 kickoff that we did in September? It's like, man, there's so much good stuff. And even since we came back, we haven't looked back at any episodes from 2018 to present. So I was like, you know what? Instead of doing a pre-taped clip show, let's do a live clip show, Gary. Let's see what happens. It might bomb. Like there's a 50-50 chance nobody's gonna write in or comment or ask a question, but we're gonna go live. I've started pulling some clips late last night. I'm probably going to pull an all-nighter tonight, put the pot of coffee on, just pull some clips. And we're going to show some episodes, some parts of episodes, some outtakes you've probably never seen before. But I'm opening it up, and I'm hoping people ask questions in real time that I can answer. I may not have like a clip of it ready to go, but I would love to have that back and forth. So it's just going to be social media correspondent Caitlin and I on set for an hour. They don't even know this yet, but I'm not even going to take commercial breaks. Let's just go an hour. And I'm going to sit in a chair like I'm a big deal, and I'm going to ask any questions you have about Strip Down and its 14 seasons and its 268 shows. You want to ask me who the worst guest was? I'll answer it. You want to ask me my worst episode? I'll answer it. What was it like being with Andy Schaaf before he was famous, or the Sheepdogs before they were famous? You know, who was the worst guest? I'll answer all that. There's no filter. Let's go.
Dude.
Gary.
Live shows, man.
Yeah,
there's
right?
There's
right?
a
I was
reason.
also inspired by this.
There is a reason we are the only people doing a live show from 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday on YouTube, because we don't get a lot of viewers during this time. It happens to be the busiest time of the day. If you're doing something like this, it's the worst. But we decided to go at this time because that's the only time that our producers could do because they were in school. So we worked around that, and we still wanted to basically capture the live aura of it, right? It's so hard to do a show live because they're so used to making stuff perfect all the time.
And live is just such a dying art. Nobody does it anymore.
Everyone's scared.
I know, but you are never going to... I talked about taking that break from Strip Down from 2014 to 2018, and it was because I was doing a different music show.
Yeah.
And it was also taped, but even when we did the first 7 seasons of Strip Down, we weren't allowed or we weren't able to do it live, but we taped it like it was live. We taped it in one run for the hour, and unless something really bad happened, that was what we got. Where the one I started working on for those 4-year absence of Strip Downage, it was supposed to kind of be like that, but immediately was like all packaged, and like we did all the interviews before. And it's just so different when you have a single shot of an artist and you're like, explain this song, and they take 6 runs at it to get it right. They're like, this is the image I'm trying to get out there. And when it's live, you don't get that. You get the real person. And looking back, Gary, that's actually one of the most rewarding parts of the format that we came up with. Because if you've never seen the show for Strip Down, we go an hour long. We go music, and then there's no break. I walk back on set, and we chat for a few minutes before we go to song number 2. And so in between those songs, you get the most real conversation you are ever going to have with these local musicians. And something I never, in my wildest dreams, ever ran through my mind when I started this show was that sometimes, as we get older, some of these musicians are going to pass away. And now I'm watching it through that lens as these people, these families, these friends have this hour of television with
Like a
their
time capsule.
with their loved ones,
Yeah.
and they get to see the real person.
I thought
They
you were
get
gonna-
to see these. Yeah, you probably didn't know.
I
You're
looked
probably
like an
scared where I
asshole.
was going. No.
I was
but-
laughing. I thought you were going to take in the direction of you never know how people are going to act, and some of them aren't actually very good when they're live. But this is way more positive. I
But
love
that's
this.
if they're not very good. That's the real person.
What you get.
You are, as someone related or cared about that person, you were gonna watch and be like, oh yeah, that's their mannerisms. I forgot about how they would do this when they were nervous, or like, you know, they kept telling the same story over and over, and there it is. Like, that's funny. We still talk about how the biggest moment of their life was when they played Lydia's the last night before it got torn down, you know, and it's there and it's captured, and they have that forever. And that's like suddenly the biggest honor of the
Yeah.
show.
For sure.
Was that like you said, it's a time capsule of these people who are not with us anymore. And as the years go by, it's like there's more and more and more people that we're losing, and that's life. But it's an absolute honor that we have these forever. The real person, not
That's
the
it.
interview of like, well, I wrote this song when I was, you know, in a really bad place. Like, you don't get that. You don't get that forethought. You don't know what I'm going to ask.
That's it.
You're acting, and it's honest, and it's there,
there.
and it's forever.
It's there.
And if that scares you, don't do the show, because we're all about
Man.
real.
See, and I didn't even realize this, but basically, Stripped Down was in the back of my head when we were talking about how we wanted this thing to go. Because one of my big ideas was to move Stripped Down, or a Stripped Down-esque show, into this space.
Yeah, let's do it.
And because the live aspect of it, the reason we go live to the one viewer, hello, mom and dad, always appreciate you guys watching, to that one viewer, is because you can't recreate live, which is
No.
what you basically just said. You can't do it. Either you do it or you don't. And so when you have that edge, when you have that live sort of little monster in the back here saying, hey, by the way, no safety net, bro, you're doing this. For me, I'm a fight or flight guy, and 99 out of 100 times I will fight. There's the one time where I might fight, and that'll be it. But for the most part, I thrive in the live dynamic because I've been doing it for so long, because everyone stopped doing it.
Yeah, 100%. That was basically the whole reason I brought the show back when they
Yeah.
approached me in 2018.
cool.
I was like, can we do it live finally? And they said yes. And I said, I'm in.
That's it.
And again, it was a live to tape format in the past, but now it's 100% live. Whatever you say goes out on the air. Goes out on the Rogers TV channel as well as Facebook Live.
Hell yeah. Shout out to our buddy Dean. Dean's our guy, right?
Dean Pozlowski
Yes.
and Eric Steiner.
Yeah,
the
they
two
carry-
Rogers affiliates.
They carry a couple of our shows here.
Yeah.
One Bad Podcast and
See?
Pulse Power with Aiden. It's
We're-
very cool. We're coming together,
We're coming together.
which I appreciate. I
Yeah,
believe,
they have treated me so well over there.
Thank you for doing that, Dean and the team.
Yeah.
Taking care of my guy here. I believe we sent a poster to your beautiful hand here in the booth.
We'll see
Are
if
we
that
going to be able
comes
to
up.
pop it up, or am I too early on this one? He's looking.
Hey, oh,
Ah,
whoa,
look at
split
that.
screen.
He did it.
Look
That's
at that.
even Better.
That was me, February 08, episode 1.
Did you actually shave your head like that?
Well, no, then like it's half and half.
Oh!
Come on, Gary.
It looks so real.
Yeah, no, I
Sorry, I don't
know.
have my damn.
Well, thank
binoculars
you
to
so
see the
much
TV.
for not noticing how poorly I've aged in like
No,
that
you look
15-year
fantastic.
span.
I always
but
tell
yeah,
you, you're amazing. You look so good.
so there it was. That was me doing my introduction for episode 1 on the whatever. What is it? Left, right?
That
The
would
one with
be
hair. The one with hair.
Our left, TV right.
The one with hair.
Yeah, the one
That
with
was
hair
me.
was the beginning.
Young
Why?
and
Was it purple?
fresh-faced.
You have purple hair
It was
there?
kind of ready, but it was under red lights too, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
But man, I had
That's a
some
really
good.
man.
Yeah, and then I
If you wouldn't have
cut
explained
it
that,
in half
that would have threw me off for so long.
for this last September when we came back.
From the
episode
start.
200. So 260 episodes later.
That's crazy. And that is, I feel like besides the bag under your one left eye, you did pretty good.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the bags are, yeah.
While you're
I don't
raising
know.
a couple kids and running a family, come
Yeah.
on. Like, you're
Thank
looking
you.
pretty darn good when you look at
Oh,
that.
I appreciate that.
No, that's awesome. So there's a nice little poster for you.
You
Does
could
it
see
tell
some
us
stuff in there? You could see Andy Schaaf. You could see the
Yeah.
New Jacobin Club. You could see We Were Lovers. You could see,
Oh, we were lovers.
is it Eliza Doyle? You can see.
For those at home,
I don't know. Shout out to Dylan Evans who whipped this up for me.
The TV is very far away from the stage, so
I
that's why
asked-
we're trying to
I
get
asked-
a good view.
Dylan
there.
always does these little like poster things up for each episode, and I asked for
That's
a
very
little
cool.
extra razzle dazzle for this one, just because there's
love
no guest, and he went way over and above. Live clip show, has that ever been done before? I
I
don't know.
don't think so. I'm kind of pumped for it.
Right? Like
Yeah.
like when you hit 200, you should do a live clip show. You should just have a whole bunch of clips in the bag.
Man,
and then just be
when
like,
you say
remember episode 53.
when you say when you hit it, I'm like, man, that's forever away. Then
No,
I
it's
realize
not.
we're on the other half of 150. Was it like 157 or something? 156?
It's got to be more than that.
Around there.
I feel like
158, 158.
I have no concept of time.
Me
I
either.
feel like I was here for episode 100, and then the next week you were like, "Oh, we're at 150," and I was like, "There's no way." And then
what happens,
that was
man.
like 2 months ago. You were at 150, and we're at 158. It's happening. It's
Dude.
happening, Gary.
Getting reps, man. You're the guy that taught me to get reps. From a strip down in the house, he is a family member of the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, father of a hand that runs the show in the tooth booth, an all-around great guy. Getting you ready for his big live clip show tomorrow. So what kind of prep goes into something like this? Because like you said, it's not a normal show.
No, I just started going through episodes and just pulling a few minutes here and there. And again, a lot of it is from the last 4 seasons since we came back and actually did it live, because we've never really looked back at those episodes.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened. We went live at Earl's.
Come on, you went on location?
We took Jay Semko, and we went live on location.
If
for the
you're
first
going to
time
risk something, you
ever.
might as well bring in an ace, hey?
Yeah,
A guy that
right?
can just do anything. Shout out to Jay. That's
We've
a dude
done,
right there.
you know, we started when we came back. I was like, it's not going to be this like fun teenage show like it was before. We're going to play it serious. And then after a few seasons of that, we got back from our COVID break. I was like, you know what? What would happen if we started to have a little 2013 fun? You know.
The world had
some
enough.
wacky hijinks in
We
there.
need more fun again. Less serious, more fun.
Because we used to do it big on Halloween and Christmas episodes. We always had this thing where, like, we would end the last show of the year, which was the Christmas episode, with something unexpected and fun. The first time Santa came out, and it was Sean Daniel Grant, and he started breakdancing. We had breakdancing Santa.
Man.
And then the second year,
Here we
we
go.
talked about how we're going to end with breakdancing Santa. We pumped it the whole time. And then instead of breakdancing Santa, the Grinch came out and legitimately yanked this giant tree over and dragged it out of the
Right off the set.
studio. And
Yeah.
it was Eric Steiner. Shout out to Eric Steiner. again.
Eric.
And to his credit, it was the most awkward way. Like, you could not have scripted it better. It, like, got stuck on the wires, and he's ripping it, and then it got stuck in the door. You know?
Which makes for great TV.
Oh,
by the
it
way.
was
Yeah.
amazing. Like, if I would have told Eric, okay, first of all, get it stuck on the lights, and then, like, drag it awkwardly where it's, like,
Could have
fishtailing
never
towards
done
the
it.
door, then get it stuck in the door as you're trying to get out, he'd be like, I don't know, man, I'm just going to drag it. But all these things happened, and it makes for the best awkward 30 seconds of us just standing there. Nobody's stopping him, and he does it. And there was a viewer who was not a fan.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I've
she
heard of
left.
those.
She left me a pretty specific.
We're going to have to do a show with hate mail
A
one
pretty
day.
specific. Yeah, this was audio. She
Oh,
left
jeez.
it. She left it on the main line, and she did not like the way I did interviews. She did not like my show. And here's the one that hurts, Gary. She did not like the way I looked. She actually said that. How specific? She said,
You want to get specific. That's
she
that
said
go home
She
heat.
did not like the way I looked.
And you have audio of this. I bet you played it
I
before.
play it all the time.
Yeah, good.
it's so good. I made a remix of it.
Yes.
It's just
That
so.
doesn't surprise me.
And for the longest time, I would go back and I would watch what I was doing that week that set her off, and I couldn't figure out. Like, there was no hijinks that week. I was like doing an interview about like
Just
Folk
having
Fest,
a bad day, man.
and it was a pretty straightforward stripped down episode that was running that week. But man, she just had to phone in and just like direct shot right between the eyes. Anyway, so I reversed, looked up the number, and her name was Susan.
Oh, no.
So when Eric came out dressed as the Grinch, he had a Susan sign hanging around his neck. Was that the best moment of my life? One of.
Oh, man.
So yeah, come at me. You're gonna get it back,
Dude.
Then
hold
we
on.
had the third year.
This is the
we
one I
had the
waited
Grinch come back, and then Santa came back, but it wasn't Sean Daniel Grant. It was my friends from the Chinese Martial Arts Academy, and they had a full-on fake
Battle.
martial arts
That's the
battle
one.
in the studio.
That's the
And
one I wanted to
my
get to.
friend Kevin, dressed up as the Grinch, took a choke slam.
Through.
No, not through. I'm just on the cement. He's
Oh,
yeah.
didn't he go through the tree? Didn't someone
No,
go through the tree?
that was me. That was
Oh.
later. We're getting there. We're
Sorry.
we're like 5 years away from that.
They're all
but-
coming together.
Well, you can
It's-
watch tomorrow. Actually, that was
Makes sense.
definitely
Some
one
of
of the
these
clips.
clips, yes.
But no, my friend Kevin, who's a stunt
Yeah.
actor,
He knew how to do
he
the
knew how to.
spotting.
Yeah, but he let the the guy, I don't know, is it
The
Sensei?
Patsy? The Patsy?
Haven, the guy dressed as Santa.
Oh, okay.
Pick him up and choke slam him on the cement. And he just like did a kip up after that because he knows how to fall, by God. Jim Ross. That man knows how to fall.
Broke him in half.
Yeah. We've had lots of fun. So anyway, I looked at all that. I was like, we got to bring it back this year.
Yeah.
So last Christmas we ended where we came outside and Santa was there playing Amazing Grace in bagpipes. With bagpipes. We had bagpipe playing
amazing.
Santa. And it was just a little nod to how we used to do things when it was
So
goofy.
cool, man.
And we ran with no...
so cool.
It feels good, Gary. You know?
Man, it's like Wayne's World. This place is Wayne's World.
Right?
That's like Wayne's World. Like the ability to be able to DIY and just say, you know what, screw everybody. We're going to do what we want to do because we know that people like us will also want to do something like this. So it keeps opening the doors and expanding and opening the umbrella. And then the Wayne's Worldness gets bigger and bigger, and we're just feeding off each other on that, man. Like, it's the same thing. You're bringing bands in and you're playing. Like, it's very cool to me. I love the format.
When I used to work at Shaw TV, that was like the appeal. It was like we were like the Much Music VJs or the YTV PJs.
Totally.
We were so approachable compared to most on-air people because you would watch us and you would go, I could do that. And you probably could.
That's the
You
beauty
watch
of
the
it.
weather guy on the 6 o'clock news and you're like, I don't know.
I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know what he's talking about. And you watch the hardcore reporters out there on the front lines talking to, people about all these tragedies. And you're like, no, that's not for me either.
That's not me.
But there's these idiots in this studio being like,
Having
hey,
the time of their
sheepdogs,
life.
what was your inspiration to write I don't know? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like...
If you say that 30 more times, I'm going to get upset. I don't know.
It's a good feeling to
thing.
be here,
It's a
Gary. I
beautiful
feel like
thing.
we're bringing it back. It's been gone too long.
In my head, I'm already thinking of ideas. Like, we have a band coming through here, a local band every week with our helping out with Bloom Entertainment and 3 Hall Public House. And I'm thinking as we look forward, every Tuesday, so tomorrow, the All Out of Angst podcast crew will be in the house. That's Uncle Mike from All the Natural Products and Matt from all the bands, including Untimely Demise, as well as Raven Witch and Into Eternity. We sit here and we talk about local bands and we talk about music, and we've been talking lately about the Dufferin Avenue Media Network presents a big-ass concert. Because 3 bands alone, just with Matt, and there's also talks of putting a damn band together. As we have, again, Matt from all the bands who can play all the instruments. We have LB, who is literally a singer in the Fireside Singers. The guy has just vocals of an angel, okay? And then we got our other guys. We have drummers like Grandma. We have bass players and Merbs. We have all these people to form a band. So what we are planning on doing is getting a damn band together to perform a couple songs at whenever this concert night goes down with the other bands. Now, if that happens...
I love all of this.
If that happens... Well, sorry, not if, because I learned not to say if anymore. Around here, we say when. Because we do everything that we want to do, which makes this place so special and so cool. So when that happens, I'm thinking maybe a damn band rolling through for a strip down.
I'd love it. Let's do it.
We'll have to figure out a way for the Phenom to be a part of it, though, because he's only a hand. I don't know if he plays like
all you
piano.
need.
Is he a pianist?
Is he a what?
Does he run a pianist?
Oh.
Does he run up and down the piano keys?
He could. Yeah.
Okay, like Master Hand.
I will have to watch a whole
the
bunch
one.
of episodes of Addams Family and see all the things that hand can do. But
can't
but for
snap with
serious,
this
man,
one. That hurt.
Oh, what am I doing? Saxophone, keyboard.
Thank you. He's got wind instruments covered. Perfect.
What's the thing Link plays?
Ooh. Ocarina?
Ocarina.
Ocarina.
No, that's not the ocarina.
That's the Macarena.
Macarena. Yeah, melodica. He has a melodica. I have a guitar.
This is it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, even then, and I know we're up against the clock a little bit, but
No.
as far as favorite memories go from Strip Down, mine has to be, as tour manager Gary, I was in charge of 911 Turbo for a while. And I was with them pre-gaming while they were getting ready to go on Strip Down. And they pre-gamed very well, to the point where I believe their final song was just previously recorded, and they just pretended to play their instruments because they were so lit up. And they trashed the set. They had so much fun, and they had so many great things. I still have a VHS copy of it somewhere around
I love
here.
that story. I love that
And
story.
you posted it when I told you we were talking about Stripped Down. I was like, oh, because you were just posting old ones. Like, man,
Yeah.
you got to get this one up. He's like, yeah. And you did, and it was so cool. So just to be the before and after, because they came back after. So we did some pre-drinking and post-drinking. They went there in between, did their thing, and like just seeing it, it was done so well. All the different, didn't you break the record for swipes?
There were so many swipes, and
Like,
it was an
wild.
opportunity to use like weird dissolves and like
Everything. The
page
weirder the
flips.
better. It's all about getting weird
Bryn Kreisa
on it.
working the T-bar completely broke it off.
Of course.
The T-bar is not meant to. T-bar for those of you not in the television industry, let me break it down for you. When you
It's
have
not
a switcher,
underwear. I learned that.
yes,
Yeah.
you can do auto dissolve, and then it's like 5 seconds, zoop, and you don't have to think about it. But then you have a T-bar. If you want to do it manually, then you can like go. Oh, look, oh, see,
Did you just T-bar me, bro? Did I just
you
get
got
T-barred?
T-barred.
T-bar me back. T-bar me back. Phenom is, man, I call him Phenom now. He's growing from hand to arm.
That's
Phenom,
it, right?
Phenom. That's
Because you
beautiful.
have the presets, but then if you want to like really take charge, you can do manual ones. So poor Bryn is just going
trying to keep up.
slow and fast, and then all of a
Has
sudden, it
has-
just came off.
Anyone else broke the T-bar?
No,
See, 911
No.
Turbo, man.
right? That was a great episode.
Bringing it. That was a
There's
great
so many.
one.
There's so many. We brought the Rebellion to the Sheraton. No, the Besbro. I'm sorry, Sheraton. Then we brought them to the Besbro in the Adam Ballroom, and it was beautiful.
Nice.
I mean,
How many times have you taken it on location?
It's got
I
to
know
be probably 15.
Halloween is always. Is it always on
We
location?
took Ryan Bolt from the Deep Dark Woods into the Deep Dark
Dark
Woods, and we
Woods.
built a fire, and he played around the fire.
That's very cool.
We had a torture room with Sean Valora.
I love my man
just-
Sean. That's my dude.
Right? We've done it all. But just to finish that loop, Gary, you know how like the expensive proper way of TV kind of died, and then from it became like the jump cut talking face YouTubers, which nothing against, good on you, but like what we do is that perfect.
A mix.
We don't have this quality, and we don't have this whatever lack of quality. You got to go somewhere. You got to keep it accessible so people can still be like, I could do that, like our shows, but also have maybe a better quality than just, hey guys, jump cut. So I went to the mall, jump cut the other day. You're like, what?
Too fast.
You couldn't
So many things happen.
You couldn't retake that sentence? Get it? Oh, nothing makes me madder than
And
that, Gary.
live.
Old man,
And
Gary.
And live. Being in the moment.
Yeah.
You cannot recreate that.
Right?
It's a
And
beautiful thing.
that's the jump cuts thing.
All right, you ready to
Yeah.
ready to ride this one out? This has
I
been
ended
good.
that on such a negative thing. You guys are awesome. I love
Positive.
everyone
Give me-
online.
Yeah, there.
Do
there's
your
one.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Is
Anything
that
else?
it? That it? We out?
We're rolling.
Okay.
When did we start? I don't have my timer. I know it's going. I got you. I can hear it. Do we know when it started? Okay, well, let's listen. I've been trying to be better. I've been trying to use my timer. To the Phenom, thank you for being the hand in the tooth booth. Look at him. God, he's so handsome. What a handsome hand. Fantastic job there. Thank you to Network Ryan, who was here earlier. Did some shoveling. See the shoveling out front?
It's impeccable.
Yeah. Network Ryan brought the guy did the quick lift, then he
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
the scraper to make it. He has to have it down to the bone because he wants to look professional. I'm telling you, if he wasn't here, this whole place would not exist. Like, he's the one that
You have you
he's so good at saying, Gary, stop being a lazy piece of shit and go do something. You know, that's what I need.
yeah.
So props to him for helping. He did most of the scraping out there too. As well,
These
Paul's Power
things-
with Aiden out today. Props to her. She was in here doing some stuff, which is very cool.
These things survive when you surround yourself with talented people.
You got to do it. And I tell him all the time, I said, if I wanted a yes man, I definitely wouldn't have you here because he's the exact opposite of a yes man, and that's what we need. That's what everyone needs, right?
And we're giving away $125 of Earl's gift certificates tomorrow night for the best question. To bring it all back, Strip Down Live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Look out for it on the Strip Down Live Facebook channel. We're going to go live there as well as on Rogers TV. And I'm giving away money. Best question.
Help 'em
Live
out with
clip
those
show.
questions.
125
There you
bucks
go.
Earl's cash. Take them. Take your loved one out for a Christmas dinner on Strip Down. All you gotta do is ask me a question. Nothing's off the table.
Remember, karma's very, 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 very real. Now more than ever. Do good things, you'll notice they start happening to you. Thank you to all my neighbors who had the snowblowers out. They came out here, man, and I didn't, like me with my little hand shovel, I might as well just had no shovel. Like, don't worry, Garrett. Like, no one even says anything. I just walk out in my driveway, my walk-up's done, everything's done. It was crazy. So thank you to all the neighbors out there, all the people helping, pushing snow, and making everything accessible. We appreciate and love you so damn much. I want to get that out there. Snow angels everywhere, bro.
Right?
Oh,
Let's go make some snow angels, Gary.
okay. We'll do it. Let's go.
It'll be
Tarp-
you and I,
tarps off,
full
though.
angels, and then the Phenom just like
Just a little hand angel.
little
Tarps
hand,
off.
little hand angel.
We'll be back tomorrow with the All Out of Eggs podcast crew, okay? Until then, enjoy some Monday Night Football tonight and have a great rest of your Monday. Great job.